All right, if you're a small business owner, you know this already. Having the right equipment, well, it can make or break you. But here's the huge question, the one that keeps people up at night. How do you get that gear without totally draining your bank account? That's the puzzle we're going to solve today.
Yeah, it's a decision that can feel pretty overwhelming, right? It's got these long-term ripple effects on your cash flow, on the whole financial health of your company. But don't worry, we're going to walk through a simple framework so you can answer this question with total confidence. So let's get right into it. Okay, first things first, let's get the basics down. You might think leasing and getting a loan are just two different roads leading to the same place, right? But they're actually built on totally different foundations, and that difference can have a massive impact on your business. So let's start with an equipment lease. The easiest way to think about it is like a long-term rental. A lender, the leasing company, they go out and buy the equipment for you. Then you just pay them a monthly fee to use it. And here's the key part. When the lease is up, you've got options. You can usually return it, renew the lease, or in some cases, buy it yourself. Now, an equipment loan, that's a whole different ballgame. This is the most direct route to ownership. You borrow a chunk of cash, you go buy the equipment, and boom, it's yours. It's on your books as an asset from day one, and every single payment you make builds your equity in it. So let's put them right next to each other so it's super clear. With a lease, the lender owns it. That's why your monthly payments are often lower, and you've got more flexibility at the end. With a loan, you own it right away. Your payments are building equity, and that piece of equipment shows up as a real asset on your company's balance sheet. Okay, so which one is for you? Here's a super simple way to think about it. You should probably lease if you're dealing with tech that gets outdated fast, like computers or software, or if keeping cash in the bank right now is your absolute #1 priority. On the flip side, you'll want to get a loan if that equipment is a long-term workhorse for your business, and you're thinking about things like investment and what you could sell it for down the road. All right, so if you're leaning towards leasing, hold on, because there's another layer here we need to peel back. See, not all leases are created equal. They basically fall into two big families: capital leases and operating leases. And trust me, understanding the difference is absolutely crucial. And this is a fantastic way to think about it. A capital lease, that's kind of like a rent-to-own deal for a house. You're in it for the long haul, it shows up on your balance sheet, and the whole point is that you'll probably own the thing in the end. Now, an operating lease is more like just renting an apartment. It's for a shorter time, it stays off your balance sheet, and it's perfect for stuff you know you're going to want to upgrade in a couple of years, like your team's laptops. Let's dig into capital leases first, and we'll start with the most common one, the $1 buyout lease. And yeah, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You make all your monthly lease payments, and when the term is over, you can buy that piece of equipment for just $1. It really is the most direct path to owning something through a lease. The huge pro here is predictability, right? You know from day one that you're going to own this thing for practically nothing. So what's the catch? Well, the trade-off is that your monthly payments are going to be higher. It makes sense because you're basically prepaying to own the equipment. Okay, so what if those higher monthly payments on the $1 buyout are a little steep for you? Well, there's another option, a kind of hybrid, called a 10% put lease. With this one, your monthly payments are lower, but, and this is important, you have to buy the equipment at the end for 10% of its original price. It's a nice, predictable, middle-of-the-road option. All right, let's totally switch gears and talk about the most popular operating lease. It's called the Fair Market Value Lease, or FMV for short. And if there's one word to remember here, it's flexibility. When the lease is over, you've got three choices. Buy the equipment for whatever it's worth at that moment, just give it back and walk away, or sign up for a new lease. It's absolutely perfect for a tech that's going to be outdated in a flash. So the upside is pretty obvious, right? You get lower monthly payments and a ton of flexibility. The risk, though, and it's a big one, is that the final buyout cost is a total unknown. That fair market value could end up being way higher than you thought, which might make buying it a bad deal. Okay, let's get serious for a second and talk about the true cost of all this. Because that monthly payment you see, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more going on underneath the surface. So, interest rates, what they call the annual percentage rate, or APR, they can be all over the map. I mean, we're talking a massive range. For a business with fantastic credit, you might see rates as low as 4%. But for others, it could shoot up to 25% or even higher. Just that one number can change your total cost by thousands and thousands of dollars. So, what's the main thing that decides your rate? No surprise here, it's your business credit score. That's one of the biggest levers they pull. If your score is over 700, you're in great shape. You'll get the best rates. But if it dips below 600, lenders start to see you as a bigger risk. And believe me, your interest rate will show it. But listen, it's not just about the interest rate. This is so important. You have to put on your detective hat and hunt for all the little fees buried in the fine print, because those hidden costs can seriously inflate what you end up paying. And you've got to keep an eye out for these little gremlins. I'm talking about documentation fees, crazy high penalties if you want to end the lease early, and my personal favorite, automatic renewal clauses that can lock you into a whole new term if you're not paying attention. And please find out who pays for maintenance, insurance, and taxes. These are not small details. They add up like you wouldn't believe. Whew. Okay, that was a lot, I know. So let's pull all of this together now into a really simple, practical framework that'll help you make the smart choice for your business. This makes it super easy. Just connect your goal to the best option. So if your main objective is to own the equipment when all is said and done, you're looking at a $1 buyout or a fixed percentage deal. But if your top priority is keeping those monthly payments as low as humanly possible, then an FMV lease is probably where you want to be. And once you know which direction you're headed, the actual process is pretty simple. You figure out what you need, you shop around and get a few quotes, and then, and I can't say this enough, this is the most critical part, you read every single word of that agreement before your pen ever touches the paper. This is such a key takeaway. A lease isn't just about the monthly payment. It's about what happens when the payments stop. Your exit strategy, what you do at the end of the lease, is every bit as important as what you pay each month. So, at the end of the day, there's no magic one-size-fits-all answer here. The smart choice is a strategic one that's unique to your business. It's all about finding that sweet spot, that perfect balance between your cash flow today and your big picture goals for the future. And that really leaves us with one final big question for you to think about. When it comes to your equipment, are you just putting a Band-Aid on today's problem? Or are you building a strategy that sets your business up for where you want it to be 3, 5, or even 10 years from now? Something to chew on.